Hello everyone. I hope my voice is audible to all of you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
So in today's session, I'm going to share my views on the different type of vehicles and what was the current market scenario in the two-wheelers, as well as we are talking about upcoming EVs and the technologies innovation which are going on the EVs. Okay. So in today's, we are going to cover about the market scenario of top EV two-wheelers with a MOM chart along with the telematic unit along with the RCD charger, which are having a usual essential role of while the charging of two-wheeler along with the blue core hybrid system, which is coming with a company which is organized by Yamaha Motor Corps. So in the past places as well as in the fast-paced world of the automobiles evolution, 2024 will create a great landmark in India because of the uprising of EVs, investment, stabilization, manufacturing of the automation assembly line, along with the new upcoming EVs with a branded, efficient, and over the loopholes which are we have seen as a drawback of EVs. So they are overcoming with that, and they are coming in the 2024 as well as. So with the increasing focus of the sustainability and commitments of towards the greenery future, the automobile industries is giving a introduce about a fleet to the electric vehicle. So the fleets give a promises and predefine the prescriptions of the driving. So whatever the issue we are having, like limited driving range or the charging infrastructure, so the companies are going to work on that. They increases the limitation range due to while the increasing the battery chemistry along with the cell pack design. While when we are talking about charging infrastructure, you have heard about news about like Indian Oil has had a sign MOU for with the Tata to establish a 50,000 charging station by the next year. So the productivity and the uses of EVs in the market. So to make of coefficient part of the vehicles which are covered under that. So the capability of transformation which are going to be seen in next year very widely. So like we are talking about two-wheelers, like but in the upcoming years, the top 10 companies and they are going to be launched their EVs. Like Ola is also going to be launched one of the four-wheeler also, which is Ola electric sedan, which is
Hello. Jash, I think there is some network issue from your side.
Hello. Sound is not coming, sir. Clearly.
yeah.
Yeah, please wait a second.
Hello.
Yes, you are audible.
Okay. So as I told that we are going to see the what are the MOM growth chart of the top EV companies, as we having a lot of startup companies and branded companies which are launching EVs in month by month or day by day. Innovation was going on that. So in all of them, the top 10 companies are Ola, TVS, Bajaj Chetak, Ather, Ampere, Vida, Hero Company, OmiCube, Electric, Joyo. These are the top 10 companies which we can see what are the units are more majorly sold by these companies only. You can see in your surrounding also. But Along with that, we having giving a 10 to 20% of the sale towards that newly startup companies like a Jello, Trendent, and many of the startup companies are there. But you can see that in the month of November, and I having a MOV chart of October as well as a November. So you can see the growth percentage rate should be increased because along with that, they're having a wire harness defect. So we see the collapsation in the two-wheeler, three-wheeler. But after to clarifying the loopholes that this company raises very well, like we have seen in the first generation of Ola that some of the disadvantages overheating. So they rectify it and they come in the market and they, as we all know that they are having a Ola, TVS, Bajaj, they're having a base of the EVs for in the market scenario. So the data rate, you can see always the data rate should be very efficiently high as compared to the other of the branded companies. So in the subsidiary reduction, when as a government supported as well as like a frame 1 and frame 2, while invented by the governments to promote the EVs, along with that, Ola Electric maintained the market leadership position from past 6 months. Along with the leader position with the November, it create a landmark like it sales up to a 29,764 unit. As a we having a festival sales and it give a discount of 20% and it decrease its price and now its price going to like 89,900. So the Ola is also a huge creating a market for their customers as well as the service technician part. So we are starting with the part of Ola Electric. So as we all know that Ola is firstly started in India for a cabbing system, like they're having an entrepreneurship. Now they are having a coming with the EVs, which are efficiently and having a global market. And they launched some of the prototypes for to come the evolution in the EVs technology. And they are going to be a future plan for like they are going to also settle a lithium ion gigafactory, new bikes to be having a good generation with a good driving range. And they're also working on their AI processor. So whatever the processor vehicle telematics we using like an octagon process, microcontroller, whatever the features, navigation systems we have seen in the EVs, they can be uprisings and having a good security system as well as. So these are the 4 bikes. Along with that, in upcoming year, Ola is going to be launch Ola Crucius electric motor and Ola Diamond Head electric motor bike in the month of November and one in the April of 2024. So they having a drive range of 200 as they had in the prototype, they have certified it that they are having a range of 200 to 250 kilometers while they're driving. We're having a suspension system of telescopic fork, monoshock, and the brakes should be in the basis of disc brake. Along with they having a suspension system should be in the form of horizontal as well as. So they're having a less jerky and as well as the sound also. When we are talking about the Ola Diamond electric head, so they're having a top speed of 150 to 170 kilometer. So it can maintain the legacy of overspeeding of the bike for a youngster as well as the look should be also maintaining. Okay, so when we're talking about range, so it's giving us that we are coming with a vehicle of prototype which having a 300 plus kilometer. So whenever we see as per the Indian market or as per the Indian infrastructure, how the market is going to cope up with the Ola Diamond electric motorcycles, like they are coming like a super bikes. So they're having a rear suspension brake system, same with Ola Crucius electrical, but they are going to be launch a huge innovations for in the company of Ola's. Primarily, we having a two-wheeler scooties. So we are having a scooties of generation 1, where we having a huge efficient power drawback, like we having a less efficient as a 40%. But now they are having launched a Ola Pro. So they are having a reduction of the 40% due to the changing and the designing part of the controller, as well as the efficiency of vehicle telematics of the wiring harness, which is inside the vehicle. So when we are talking about the specification of different variant of Olas, so you can see that as per the costing, as per the power rating, along with the top speed, the battery charging, discharging, motor type should be there. Like they are primarily they are having all of them. They having a generation for like Ola S1, S1 X Plus, but they are all having a hub motor. But hub motor having also a less speed capacity, and they having to maintain the legacy. They are coming with a belt system along with they are having a suspension system which is in the horizontal form to make a less shock absorbable bikes or scooties. Along with that, they having a great features like a vehicle telematic sensing device, which are present on the EVs of two-wheeler, having a huge role in the market. Like they are having a features like for a Bluetooth navigation system, calling system, GPRS tracking system, along with the battery performance system, where we can evaluate the SOC of the battery, SOD of the battery, along with it can indicate about the covering distance, along with the performance, that how much you are able to go for a sustainable ride when we are going for an eco mode or sports modes. So they all having a innovation features in the Ola. So these are the part of the generation 1, but they having some of the drawbacks, and they are having infrastructure designing part of the Ola with the internal part of circuit designing should be as also different. So when we are talking about next generation of Ola, which is launches, and these prices are very high, like more, it's around 1,50,000 price, which are Ola S1 Pro generation with a second generation. So the basic of second generation, which increase the efficiency in the vehicle, along with the vehicle telematics should be improved in that. I will show one of the video which is sponsored by the Ola company itself, and they shown about you the clear idea and concept, like which are the components should be available on the generation 1 as well as in the generation 2, and how we are replacing that, and how they can use like a BTMS system to maintain the cool down of the battery pack. So they use the liquid type of systems. So in the new second generation of Ola, you have seen that a motor pickup output, a peak output should be a 11 kilowatt hour, along with the drive range. When it's a quick acceleration, it's take a 2.2 seconds for 0 to 40 kilometer per hour. While it's a single charge, it can cover up to a range of 180 kilometers while in the eco mode. So they're having a legacy also to move a huge difference. So they don't having a limited drive range in the Pro of second generation. So to better understanding, I want to show one of the videos which can give a clear view of the EV. So these are the EVs material which are present on the two-wheelers of scooty, like battery, MCU, motors. So these are the motor which are present primarily in the generation of 1. They're having a motor, AC cables, heat sinks, along with the controller. So they replace all the controller system, and they directly placed MCU controller in the connection of motor itself. Like they don't have a separate BLDC motor and the separate controller with a high efficient. So they merged it, and they are coming with the MCU controller. So the motor controller unit, which is directly connected with the motor itself. So the peak torque of motor should be 11 kilowatt, as well as it can increase the efficiency of 30%, and the cost reduction should be also there. So they work on their battery life itself also. So they use liquid type cooling, as well as before they are using air type cooling. So to maintain the capability and heat resistance part of the battery, so you can see that in the 33% of reduction, while in the cable qualities, wiring harness should be changes as per the standard, and they change their architecturing itself in the batteries design part. So they are coming with the oval shape. So they are having an extent, but they are using the lithium ion cell. Make their insulation level increases, that increases in their market O-ring systems. Along with that, they're having a huge generations used for the vehicle too. Now they are talking about vehicle telematics. So the vehicle telematics, whatever the wiring harness used for the sensor to estimation for the EVs, like two-wheeler, whatever the sensing part, like I can say that when we are going to a side stand, a EV, and it's indicate like you have doesn't turn back your stand. So the indicating on the display is also a work of vehicle telematics, that the sensor which are indicating and sensing that. So while they are improving their wire harness, they also improve their processor, like they are using octa-core processor in the S1 Pro with having a 3 GB RAM in the in-cluster panel itself. They're having a Wi-Fi connection, Bluetooth connection, as well as they improve their GPRS navigation system also. So they also work on their chassis and the model frame of avionics part of second generation. So they redesigned in the basic forms, along with that, with the more suitable and the less parts. So the vehicle should be also make a standard weight place, as well as in the prior one, you have seen that they are having a mid-strained rod between front wheeler and the rack wheeler connection, but they have designed a separate part distance where we can increase with the stronging capacity of a chassis. Along with when we assemble all of them, they are coming with the second generation of EV, and they are also working on the third generation of EVs also. So in that, they are going to be coming with the mid-train motors, along with the, like this, in this motor also, they are using a mid BLDC motor, which whatever the comparison between first generation of Ola and second generation of Ola, we can see that 30% of improvement in their performance. And as well as when we are talking about flat foot, you have seen that before they are having one mid rod between of them. So they change their architecturing as per the required of customer satisfaction. So we have a lot of scooties, and as I told that we are having top branded companies like TVS, Bajaj Chetak, Ather, Vida, Hero. So they all have different powertrain, peak load, peak torque, along with the motors. They are in some of them they are having a mid BLDC motor. In some of them they are using hub motor. Some of them they are using disc brake. Some of them you are using drum brake system. So they all have different parameters according to they are having costing also, and along with their features also, like as we seen that we are using to charging the vehicles, like for a type 2 of chargers or type 1 charger most of time for a two-wheeler. But when we are talking about like the Vida having a battery swapping system itself, so we are having a 2 battery swapping. Like to support that battery swapping, we also need a vehicle telematics. So a vehicle telematics part should be raised, like how the external features, and like we are moving toward EVs to for the eco-friendly, sustainable also, with along with the features along with also the prices should be decreases. So if you are getting a more efficient, so you can, of course, you are going to be choose the better choice. So they are having a TVS iQ, Ather, and Vida for the different categories, where Ather energies will be manufactured by the India only. It's having a latest flagship model of 450X. So the building upon the success of 450 they have launched their company in the 2020 and make a remarkable place in the market. as we having a TVS as a prior company for launching a two-wheelers. So we all have aware about a backstory of the TVS, like they're having a huge market of the TVS when they're coming with a conventional IC engine. But now they are coming with the TVS. They're having a good vehicle telematics. For that vehicle telematics, they're having smart connectivity system along with the RFD charging system, along with the key features for that. They're having a wiring harness should be as much as less required, and the charging required for that battery should be as about for 80% they need a 4.5 hours. So these are some of the advantages which we are going to be seeing in the two-wheelers of EV. Along with that, I told about lot of time vehicle telematics. So what is vehicle telematics and how it's create a huge role in the EVs? So when we are talking about vehicle telematic ecosystem, so we always have to think like how EVs are suddenly started growing towards like booming for Indian culture, like in before of the COVID also, or before of the 2016, 15, we never having a good scope of the huge market of EVs. Because of the government subsidy, like a FAME 1, faster adoption of the manufacturing hybrid, the government supported a give a incentive subsidy development towards the ecosystem to sustain for the EVs. Like they have given a lot of reduction in the taxes, provided a manufacturing support along with the company towards the eco-friendly environment, and coming with the over to understand the about the future scope of the automation, the EVs are booming. When we are talking about the role of telematics, so that it's connect with the connecting charging infrastructure. Second point should be uses of health analytics, business and individual, connected battery for swapping. So basically, a vehicle telematic is a telematic system which can connect you from your vehicle. Like connect you from your vehicle, like by using a phone, laptop, or you can using the navigation system. So whatever the control system you want, you can go for that. Like if some of the basic functions and the features which we are getting from the vehicle telematics connector, like a smart connector, like to identify while the charging the places, like we having a great innovation in EV, but still we having a loophole of driving range. Like if you can't go for a very huge distance to cover a travel from one state to another state by the bike or by the four-wheeler, because they are having a huge distance also. For in single charge, you can't able to cover that much distance. So we are having a issue while the charging infrastructure. So the vehicle telematic help us to indicate the charging infrastructure in your phone or from your infrastructure panel, which is available on your EVs. They indicate you, or they help you, or they guide you to a particular location where you can charge your vehicle for a certain interval of time, while when you are having a less battery, less SOC of the battery. So they having a good command with the CAN communication along with the BMS battery pack connection and the MCU, along with in the four-wheeler they are having ECU as well as. So when we're talking about use of health analytics in the business individual, so how it will affect or helpful for the business and health. While you can also see the navigation systems for the hospitality. So you can give a direction where in some of the countries, they research like a self-driving car. So in that, you can also give a particular command to reach that particular places with the help of telematic, along with it's huge where we can see that always we are moving toward humans are moving toward the comfort zone. So if we have a basic feature, so we are always moving toward a high features or a luxuriness. So we have seen that a huge wherever the companies or automation company or with the automobiles which having a two-wheeler, three-wheeler, four-wheeler, which will provide you more efficient power, along with the less cost and huge functions which we are giving, they are majorly means sellings, increase the sales market of the automations among growth chart. So in that, business will also affected, and at that point, the more investors have a huge interest in the EVs. So you have seen that huge investments are going by the governments as well as the raw companies, assembling companies, startup companies are investing in the EVs for as a future scope also, as well as they are also working on the hydrogen power plant. They're having a hydrogen setup, so they are going to be start the vehicle on the basis of hydrogen as well as with having a hybrid connections with EV only. Also, when we are talking about connecting battery swapping, just I told that like Vida, Hero company is having a battery swapping system, but they have to make a sustainable telematic connection when we are swiping the battery, so it will doesn't affect the control rating or whatever the command and condition basics function which are given in the BMS. So whatever the functions which are available on the BMS, so they can support the battery as well as to adjust the parameters or synchronize the battery while when we are swiping the battery. So these are the also work done by the telematics itself. So the role of telematics in ecosystem to link with the outer world along with the you having a efficient command in your vehicle along with automation and the embedded system part of the vehicle. So when we are talking about the cost of EVs, well, in four-wheeler, two-wheeler, you can see the cost of battery and the power electronic components which are present on the EVs are a cost of 60 to 50% of the cost of the vehicle. Like they're having a huge traction battery pack, and the power electronic components, like they are having a MCU or maybe they're having a SMG controller, ECU controller. So whatever the controller itself having a optimized performance to give a better optimized performance. So to design them or the component which we are using in the basis of power electronics like MOSFETs, diode, capacitor, and the microprocessor along with the microcontroller. So the command, the processor the cost will increases in the EV because we are relating with the outer world. So we need that power supply as well as, and like for a short electronic component, we basically give a 5 to 15 watt of DC power supply or AC power supply. But when we are talking about a vehicles, we have to make a architecture of the microprocessor or ICs to stand by the giving of 90 volt because it required that much volt to deliver efficient output. So we have to work on that also. Along with that, the low cost location, health tracking solution for the battery essentials. So while the tracking of the vehicle or where we having a features of anti-theft system or locking system, you can analyze or you can give a complete control on your vehicle throughout when you are not in the vehicle itself also. So that type of features are related and they are having a coordination with the vehicle telematics one. When we are talking about embedded into the electronics, battery cannot be extend the form factor of any. Yes, it's very clear that the whatever the embedded part having a part of software plus hardware, but when I'm talking to increasement in the battery external form factor, it will doesn't extend their level. So basically we have to work on when we need a high performance EV increases where whatever the loopholes which are present on the EV, so they have to work on to improve their vehicle telematics, their wiring harness, and whatever the P controller device, because we can't work only always in the battery pack. Because we can change the chemistry of the battery pack, like they having a mixture of the lithium ions with the, along with that, because the lithium ion having advantages, high power density, load self-discharging rate. So these are the advantages which give a preference material for the battery pack. So while it will directly not affect the environment, but it will affect indirectly to the environment as well as. So as I told that we have to case about the vehicle telematics, in TVS iQube, we having a the vehicle telematics of smart connected, and they having a features for a clash fall notification, remote monitoring, live tracking, geofencing, along with the theft notification as well as. So these are all the features which we have gone seen and which can also command by the phone also. The mobile phone can connect with your vehicle speedometer along with the uses of Bluetooth, and we can observe all of these system and having a good command on your vehicle. Along with that, they are having a remote charging stations. So remote monitoring charging status shows about the SOC of the battery, optimal performance, and they can use the telematic concepts of TVS smart contact, so they can improve their battery, to improve their efficiency of the vehicle as well as.
Hello.
Yes.
Jash, sorry to disturb. I think you are not presenting the screen.
So my screen is visible and I am presenting the screen.
From like my side, it is not visible. Can you please check?
Sir, my screen is visible as I'm presenting. It's showing by from my side, sir.
Okay.
So once from audience side, can you give that it's visible or not? Okay.
It is visible.
Okay. So thank you for your support. When we are talking about the remote monitoring and the charging status, like we will see the SOC of the battery and whatever, what the performance of the battery, what was the limited drive range, and along with the charging status checked by enabled smartphone, you can go through like it having whatever the performance in your battery pack, or how to indicate that where was the fault in your vehicle. So you can also get that tracking system in your vehicle. Along with that, they're having a live tracking. So it kind of help while the theft, or while somebody's take your vehicle and you don't know about that. So you can easily track your vehicle, that's whoever has taken, or where is your vehicle now. So these type of the features which are given by the vehicle, which help you while having a telematics part in your vehicle. Along with they having a crash fall systems, if you have in some of the office or infrastructure part, when you're working or you have parked your vehicle in some of the places and it will defected by some of people, so it will indicate you about that your car should be crashed or it will fall because of the it particular of that time. So, and whatever the decrement and what are the you can reach that place and you can see that whatever the issues are going through the vehicles. So whatever the thing, but the drawback of the TVS also should that they always use the hub motor. They having a great sale, but they having a limited drive range, and they maintain the legacy of the soundless part. Along with that, they are coming with the RCD charger. So basically, what is RCD? Residential current device. So the charger which having a RCD charger, they basically detect the fault while overcurrent fault, or the power supply which is unbalanced power supply is coming from the charging port, or from the, it can also evaluate the performance of battery with the help of BMS also. It will indicating that due to the inside of the part, vehicle telematics help that inside of your vehicle, it will affect your vehicle battery performance, or while the charging, like the power regulated supply which are giving while the charging of vehicle, it is correct or not. So they are coming with the RCD charger. So you basically see in the TVS only, they're having a two LED bulbs which will indicating about the red LED indicate about the faulty power supply, unbalanced load conditions, where when we see the green color indicating for some interval of time, and this at a constant it will be having a green color, so you are getting a good power supply, and it will make a as much as less time to charge your vehicle as compared to unbalanced power supply. So it is similar to, or you can say that is similar to the MCBs. That whenever the trips go, or it can, due to the sensitivity, it can trip the connection or it can disconnect the power supply. But they having a difference for RCD as well as circuit breaker. Circuit breaker basically break the circuit, but it can't give any command or it give any analog signals to the microcontroller to give a particular performance or to communicate with his customer with a high level language. So the residential current device having a optimal performance signal that they give you the technique or they give you the indication. Because of that particular reason, you are facing some of the issues in your charging of your vehicle, because of there should be a low voltage or over voltage where you are giving to the charging of your vehicle. So along with that, we having a lot of configurations part. So I told about that we will see the innovations in the EV. So as I told about a lot of companies like Ola, Ather, Bajaj. Along with that, we having a lot of companies like Vida, Joyo, and they are having a lot of startup companies. They give they are a huge part in the sale of EVs, along with their features, along with their technologies. But Blue Core Hybrid is very new concept, and we will see this concept in the upcoming vehicles for the market in 2024, as well as in the other companies as well. But now this Blue Core Hybrid system is available in only the Fascino 125F of the Yamaha, which is launched by the Yamaha Motor Corps. And they having, like, as we aware that EVs are booming nowadays. So basically EVs are booming, but they're having a slight drawback, or we can say that they're having a loophole of limited drive range, SMG techniques, like they having a charging infrastructure. So you haven't seen that these are the some of the loopholes which is in the EV. To come over that, like we having to come over that in four-wheelers, EVs are coming in hybrid mode. But again, the cost of EV should be high. In the hybrid mode, like they use IC engine as well as motor to propel the wheel. They having a configurations like a pure EV, hybrid EV, we're having a series connection, parallel connections, along with the series parallel connections. Along with that, they having a configuration part. In that configuration, they having a huge part where series parallel combination, they both giving a power supply. Like at the same time, it can deliver by the IC engine or as well as motor also. So they also having a DC, P controller device, like they're having a DC to DC converter, rectifiers. Along with that, they're having a cyclo converters. So there are a lot of components which are used in the four-wheeler. But this concept, Blue Core Hybrid, is very new, which is coming in the two-wheeler. The two-wheeler which are having a hybrid type means they're having a conventional IC engine as well as they having a motor also in the two-wheeler. So at the same time, when we are having using the vehicle from the IC engine, it can charge the battery pack. And at the time of for a eco mode or for when you are cover a lot or large distance, so at that time you can use a battery pack. You can use IC engine, both of them type to increase your limited drive range. Okay, so these are having a very high efficient in the demand for the market, and these technique and the most of the companies they are having already as a great vehicle telematics, great power unit and the efficient level. They are also working and they are also try to coming with the hybrid system in two-wheeler. But again, they will affect in the cost price of the EV. But somehow every revolution can also helpful for us only, because if the new technology comes, so the old whatever the features basic features we are using, we will see the drop in the cost price. So they will coming with the next generations and which will cope up the market with a good efficient and the basics conversations part which are covered under that. But when we are talking about Blue Core Hybrid, they are coming with SMG, Smart Motor and Generator System. means they having a MCU controller along with a smart motor and generator system. So at the same time, when they are going for a regenerative energy, where they will act as a generator, and when we need a power supply, well, if the high traction required, we use as a motor while you're in the peak time, as well as we can for a eco mode also. They're having a power assist system. The power assist system, so that they are based on their self automation. So you don't have to go for like we have to switch the power supply, or you always want to use in the motor only, or for you want to go for always the petrol or fuel on the basis of fuel gasoline part. But in that we don't have to do such like that. They're having a smart power assistance system. So the smart power assist system, which is present on the Yamaha Fasino, they are coming with the start-stop system. Start-stop system means at a time of when you're riding your scooty or bike, you see that at a time of traffic signal, or you can stop your vehicle for some interval of time, but you don't close down your vehicle. At that time, when you accelerate the vehicle, it will create a more emission of CO2. So at that time, they are having a self stop start system. At that time, when we give a thrust for the throttle, when we push the throttle, we will see that how the automation system work in it, and it can improve the efficiency, as well as it will improve the efficiency of the vehicle. Along with it will help for the environment sustainability also. For the environmental sustainability, it will decrease the carbon emissions. Along with that, they're having a connections but they're having a battery itself. You don't have to charge the battery along with the charger, because this is a come with a prototype, so it is not come in the market. So along with that, I will show you one of the video of blue core hybrid system. So in this video, you can give a better analyzing. You can better analyze the components along with the conditions which we are going to see from that. And these the video which I am going to show you, I have taken a reference from the Yamaha Motor Corp, and they're having a huge innovation technology about the blue core hybrid. Okay, so I'm going to show you the video. So they having a SMG type generator.
Sir, your audio is not audible.
The blue core hybrid.
Now my video sound is audible to you?
Blue core hybrid.
Yes, sir, it's audible.
At the heart of this hybrid system lies the smart motor generator, or SMG. It also consists of an onboard battery, which is charged by the smart motor generator while the scooter is on the move. The smart motor generator requires two essential components: the starter generator and the starter generator control unit. The control unit helps the starter generator to start the engine. It achieves a quiet engine start with just one push of the start button. It also power scooters quickly. Power assist is a first and second one-of-a-kind feature in the Fasino. The raised power assist provides instantaneous power from the engine and the onboard battery when the throttle is open. This assisted power is particularly useful when riding in traffic with a passenger or while riding uphill. The power assist bumps up the torque of the hybrid Fasino from 9.7 Newton meter to 10.3 Newton meter, giving riders the much needed performance they crave. That's not all. Another key feature in the Fasino 125 Fi and Grazier 125 Fi that makes it more fuel efficient is the stop and start system. Simply put, the stop and start system automatically shuts down the engine using a sensor when it's idle and starts it up again only when you open the throttle, saving precious fuel. The rider can opt to turn on or off the system with a convenient switch. The stop and start system has two different modes: normal and traffic, that it automatically switches between based on the running condition. In normal mode, the system automatically shuts off the engine about 1.5 seconds after the scooter comes to a stop. While riding through chock-a-block traffic, if the scooter speed is about 10 kilometers per hour or lower, it automatically switches to traffic mode, preventing frequent engine shutoffs and restarts. Provides improved fuel efficiency of about 4% thanks to zero emissions during stoppage. All these different facets of Yamaha's hybrid system, like the SMG, power assist function, and the stop and start system.
Jesh, can you reshare this? Because I think the pin is removed from the meeting.
Yes, sir. Can you repeat, sir?
Like, can you reshare it?
Video.
No, not video. Like the screen you are sharing, like just cross
Okay.
and then again share.
Okay, sir. Now my screen is visible to all of you.
Yes, visible.
Yeah. So as I have told that the blue core hybrid, and I shown you one of the video also that how the hybrid connections, like we are having IC engine as well as the motor also, they can propel the wheel. We can with the help of their shaft. So to also that we have to understand the concept of the motors which we are using on the EVs. Like they're having a motors, like they are using, like basically we are preferring the BLDC motor because we are getting a high initial torque on that, as well as they're using a hub motor because we are getting a high initial torque on that. But hub motor we are easily mounting on the rear wheel of two-wheeler. But they're having a less torque as compared to the mid-train motor, and they can increase the speed of the vehicle when they're using of mid motor with having a good control system, with having a MCU, which a motor controller unit, which where we giving a DC power supply, and we can use that DC power as per the switching purpose, and we use that power supply to propel the BLDC motor. So we don't need any external conversion device like to convert AC into DC or to DC for the electric vehicle. When we are talking about blue core hybrid system, these vehicles are coming with us best features like SMG, power assist, and the start-stop system. So when we're talking about start-stop system, in start-stop system, it is basically mandatory in the European countries nowadays. Before 1 year only, the government has assigned that these features should be basics, and if they don't have the function of start-off system, in the European vehicles. So you can you have to ban from the market, or you have to pay more taxes as per that. So these are the steps which were taken by the governments. It will affect a huge, create a market for the EVs as well as the subsidiary part also. So to better understand all of these two-wheeler, where I thought about the case studies of the two-wheeler, where we talked about the software point and processor point. So we need when we are talking about vehicle telematics. So the vehicle telematics is kind of master part which is commanding a two-wheeler. Like they're having a command for all of the responses which are taken from the sensors, along with the function of power supply through the battery to the motor. They are also coming under the vehicle telematic, and they can sense the whatever the performance, whatever the optimal performance, and they noted it, and at the time of evaluation, so according performance, you are getting a limited part, like you can go up to 20 kilometers, or in the display in cluster planner, we are seeing that we are having a drive range of more 20 kilometers and more 30 kilometers. So that to get the accuracy, that type of features and the output performance from the two-wheeler, three-wheeler, we use vehicle telematic as a huge master part, or you can say as an essential key role part of the two-wheeler to get accurate evaluation process of your two-wheeler. Along with that, I have shown this video. So these, the part of two-wheeler, three-wheeler, along with the motor, battery pack, controller, throttle, along with the peripheral device, like they're having a Bluetooth connections. And these are the basics, essential part you can see in all of the vehicles, which are nowadays as a branded company, or when we are talking about startup companies. So these are the basic needs nowadays. They're coming as per the required, like they're having a cost as per their cost, and they are having features given by the companies. So they are similar things you can see in the most of the vehicles, but they are having a good customer. They're having a good customer support, along with they having a good performance record. The selling of the companies will affect it as per that only. And the content which I delivered, that was given by the help through the ISI India. So I'm thanking ISI India for this. And now I'm going to disclose or wrap the session from my side. So if you have any query regarding two-wheeler or three-wheeler, you can ask. Okay. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay.
Yes, you are audible. Thank you very much. It was a really very good presentation.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. It's a very good session and informative to us.
Hello.
Hello.
Am I audible, sir?
Yeah.
Sir, is any EV that is manufactured in India coming with thermal protection sensors?
Thermal protection sensors in the way of, like when we're talking about BMS, they're having a thermal runway and they're having a thermistors.
No, in battery packs.
In
Battery pack.
battery pack, like I have itself, I have a three-wheeler battery pack set. In that battery pack, they're having a thermistors which is connected to the BMS. And for a certain temperature, it will disconnect the power supply, or it can indicating that your battery pack is heated.
Okay. Then the other question is that, if you go to the four-wheelers, when there is a collision, there
Sir, your voice is
is
not
a system
clear.
to shut down the whole HV supply.
Can you repeat the question?
Sir, in four-wheelers, wheelers.
In four-wheelers. Yeah.
In four-wheelers, when there is a collision, when there is an accident, the HV
Yeah.
supply gets cut off.
It's,
Is there any system that has been incorporated in any two-wheeler
yeah.
wherein if
Basic-
there is a frontal impact?
No. Basically, is a hazard part. Well, when we are talking about in four-wheeler, they having a security system along with the for your safety and for human safety. The connectors which were using, they had that tightly packed. And well, in the case of any hazard or collision, we will see that there is a lot of technicians and engineering design that, so they easily they are not disconnected with each other. But in the collision or in the incident, sometimes they having that type of effect. Sometimes you can also see that hazard time airbags are not open due to the sensor which are placed on your vehicle, which is not operate in particular form. So when we are talking about two-wheeler, if it's case of two-wheeler, when the hazard is happen or any collision is happen, so it may be as per the quality of the product which is present in your vehicle, which will disconnect the vehicle high voltage connections. Like in some of time they having a good vehicle high voltage connection, but they having a disconnection in the Hall effect sensor wire. Or maybe they having a command which is given by the controllers. They having due to incident, they having a disconnection between controller and the motor. So the minor basic faults which will be troubleshooted, and you can easily identify that due to the particular reason we are having disconnection of high voltage in two-wheeler. I hope I'm clear about your high voltage.
Yeah. The other thing is, sir, see,
Yes.
many of the two-wheelers are coming with ingress protection features. Whereas Aether says their battery pack is IP67 rated and all these things. When the battery pack is IP67, all the wirings that connects the battery pack also should be of the same similar rating. Am I correct?
Yeah, you have to maintain that standard rating for particular device. Yes, you are correct, sir. You have to maintain the standard rating as per the SMGW and A8 gauge system. You have to give as per the power which is required and the current which is delivering by the battery or required for the component. You have to selection of the wire does effect, or you can say simply that as per the requirement of the component current rating, you have to select the wire. Like at a peak time also, you have to the vehicle should capable to sustain that type of huge power, or at a time of peak load or over voltage also. So you have to selection of the wire is according to that only.
No, sir. I am asking about the ingress protection. Protection from liquid entry and solid entry.
Yeah, liquid entry and the solid entry in two-wheeler.
Yeah, that is called the IP rating, ingress protection rating, because Aether says that all their battery packs are IP67 rated.
Okay.
It means that even if it is submerged for 1 hour, water will not enter.
The R&D as per that, like they are having a lot of companies, like they are also summarize the battery pack in water, or they also summarize the hub motor on the water, and they guaranteed that till 30 or 1 hour or 30 minutes, the motor doesn't affected by any of the water leakage. So it will not affect the two-wheeler, but in some of the cases, like they are having small startup assembly, like I have seen in the Trinent and the Zello company. In that, I've seen that they are having a battery pack, like they are using not a Zell, they're using a gel pack battery, or they're using some of the lithium battery, but they don't have the particular standard rating of, or the facility to the safety for like a water inserted or any of the liquid inserted part. But they are splitting that and they are selling in the market. But it will affect the battery value that for the collision and the collision part. But Aether is giving, like they are having a rated that it can submerge for a 1 hour and it doesn't affect on the battery. So in the real time, it will be happen. I hope this is happen, or if the engineers who were going to design that particular IPC rating battery, they have done the performance, they performed that practical priorly while releasing this statement. Because I have not done any performance or to summarize that, so I have not. From my side, I'm not give a 100% surety, but the companies, like, they're having a branded and they're having a good innovation team along with the R&D part. So they will give that type of particular statement, which is true basis or in the basis of real experiment only, sir.
No, sir. Basically, the thing is that ingress protection is a standard that is as per an ISO.
Yeah, which is set as a part of patent.
Yeah. So if you are complying with that particular ISO, you have to prepare, you have to manufacture only products which comply with that ISO. So that's a mandatory thing that has to be complied by all the manufacturers. But my question that comes is whether all these things that are manufactured by most of the two-wheeler manufacturers follow the same standards.
Okay, so some of the vehicles are follow the same standard, like they are having a branded, like Bajaj is Bajaj. In the Bajaj, I have seen that Bajaj is maintaining that standard, but in some of the companies, they are startup companies, they are not maintaining that. I clearly say that they are not maintaining that standard because I have seen that.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Okay.
Thank you for your excellent session.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
In electric bike, how the selfless driving parking is working, sir?
Yeah, you can repeat your question. Your volume is very low.
Sir, in electric bike, how the selfless driving parking is working?
How the self parking system is working. Okay.
Yes.
So basically, their self parking system are based on the autonomous. They having the sensors which are like they are having in while when we are taking a let's take example of any project. Okay. So they having a small sensor like proximity sensors along with that. So they having a camera itself. They having a camera sensor. According to that, they will easily park their vehicle like they are having a driverless driving. So you can't with the use of your phone or with the use of the operations or the algorithm which is given to the microprocessor which are there in the vehicles, which are basis when we are giving a command that for the parking, just go the park at a particular place, or when we are go to any of the mall, or you want to give a command that to park in particular direction, or if the vehicle, electric vehicles will work on the basis of commanding, which is connected with the telematic part, where we having a microcontroller command and the algorithm which is designed on the vehicle. Basically, a different vehicle having a different algorithm, like all are the branded just like when we're talking about branding, like Tata. So Tata, Mahindra, they all having a different algorithm for while the parking, and they having a connections itself also. Like most of them, they are using CAN communication to pass out the signal and to communicate with each of the components. But they, for the sensing part also, or for the parking, or using the camera operating for the all of 360-degree direction also, they use a lot of highly or advanced feature of the autonomous. Okay. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I hope from my side I have given the session, and I want to wrap the session. And if you have any query regarding a two-wheeler, so you can ask, or shall I wrap the session?
No, sir.
Sir, and what are the new innovations in the e-bike, sir?
In the e-bike, like we have seen that basically whenever you are talking about EVs, we see that we are having advantages as well as disadvantages. But as my point of view, I can't say that they are disadvantages. I think that due to the innovation in time to time, they are the loopholes which are be rectified by the time to time. Like they are having a limited drive range, and most of that thing that we will see that they are having limited drive range along with the charging infrastructure issues. So in my sense, they are loopholes. Okay. So that loophole will be rectified by the time to time and whatever the innovation is happening. When we are talking about EV bikes, like they EV bikes which are coming to be launched in upcoming 2024, Revolt is going to launch their vehicle. Hero Cop is going to launch their vehicle. Torque Motor is going to be launched the vehicle in the March 2024. So these vehicles, we can see that the driving range as compared to the scooty should be very much high, because the luxuriness, or the, I can say the when we are using a scooty as well as when we are using bike, so the most of the youngster are preferring towards the bike because of the legacy of the driving, the sound. So to maintain that, the super bikes, like the nowadays the vehicles which are going to be launched, like Ola is also going to be launched their Roadster model, and for the high climber they are having to launch the Hyster as a cruiser Ola EVs. So they're having a latest technology and the innovation. As well as in India, Yamaha is going to have to launch like in next year about a Blue Core hybrid, and the Blue Core hybrid which having a specific conversion to improve their drive range, along with their having a capacity of auto start connections and the power assist system also. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So I'm going to wind up the session from my side. So the concerned team will handle this.
Thanks, sir, for hosting the webinar. Your expertise and insights were invaluable for our learners. I would like to take the opportunity to introduce our company, ISI India products and services that we offer in EV technology with a small video. So kindly have a look on video.
Do you also want to expand your knowledge of electric vehicles and want to secure a good job in the automotive industry? Let me help you to get there with our online and offline products. ISI India has been offering specific domain courses as per the industry demands with perks like pay after placement, no cost EMI, placement assurance, globally valid certification by Automotive Skill Development Council ASDC and National Skill Development Corporation NSDC Government of India. We have range of courses in electric vehicle, computer-aided design and engineering, including postgraduate certification and executive PG program in EV, professional master certification program, specialization programs, fundamental programs, and internship in EV, CAD, and CAE. Our postgraduate certification program in EV is specially designed for the students with 120 plus online learning hours, 100 plus hours of industrial projects and internship to give exposure of various computational tools for hybrid electric vehicle applications. It is a 12 months assured placement course with pay after placement, thus encouraging the learning without financial constraints. The course is globally valid, certified from NSDC Government of India. Our executive postgraduate program in EV is specially designed for the working professional who want to upskill themselves or looking for a career change in the EV industry. With 120 plus online learning hours, 20 plus hours of industrial projects. It is a 9-month assured placement course with globally valid certification from NSDC and ASDC Government of India. Our professional master certification program in EV, CAD and CAE is specially designed for the undergraduate students to pave their career path by providing industry relevant skills with 100 plus online learning hours, 5 plus hours of industrial projects. It is a 6-month placement assistance course with globally valid certification from NSDC Government of India. Along with the courses for skilling, reskilling and upskilling, at engineering institutes across India, we are setting up a state-of-art facility, Center of Excellence for e-mobility research and skill-based education, which is equipped with research and project-based learning-oriented experimental setups. This Center of Excellence is not only limited to educate the students, but also it will be utilized for research, innovation and product design and development. It is a combination of 6 labs including EV powertrain training and research lab, battery BMS training and research lab, EV charging and battery swapping lab, software modeling and simulation lab, innovation lab and renewable energy lab. Each lab is consists of number of customized workbenches and machineries. Few of them includes EV drivetrain experimental setup and motor testing workbench, hybrid drivetrain experimental setup with data logger, EV machine cutout section workbench, two-wheeler, three-wheeler, four-wheeler training workbench, battery load capacity testing, battery BMS with CAN protocol workbench, V2G setup, on or off-grid charging station, battery swapping, autonomous vehicle training workbench, solar power generator and software solutions, and many more. No matter from which branch you study, we commit to skill and assure you a success in your career. We have spread the joy on thousands of faces, becoming their partner along with the journey towards success. Join us and take advantage to unlock endless career opportunities.
Thanks for watching the video patiently. So don't miss out on this executive opportunity to discover the endless possibilities of EV. So any of you want to enroll in this course, kindly send us inquiry through a QR code displayed on your screen and take your first step towards a more sustainable and exciting futures. And also, we are having the exciting offer on the occasion of Christmas of flat 50% off on short courses. So kindly visit our website and take the advantage.
I want to ask one thing. Hello. We are actually having our CSR certificate also. We want to set up that in that way because our campus